Greetings of peace and very warm welcome to our November episode of Peace Drops for the Great Green Wall. I am Aneta and I'm honored and I'm happy to be your host today. Peace Drops for the Great Green Wall is the initiative of the Brahma Kumaris, whose members were touched by the Great Green Wall and inspired to contribute the best way they can. The Brahma Kumaris is a faith-based organization, a school, where one can restore their self-respect and dignity and inner power to become the best self and to share it with the whole world. And this is what we have been doing, what we have been intending to do within the Peace Drops initiative for the last 1.5 years, inviting all to rediscover their inner potential and to use it in the Great Green Wall initiative, the way they can, on the side or at a distance. The Great Green Wall is one of the most inspiring land restoration programs in the whole world. By its ambition, its size, its institutional setup, with leadership of the United Nations Convention to Combat Desertification, and with endorsement by African Union. Even more inspiring when we think that in the Sahara and the Sahel, there are one of the harshest ecological conditions, coupled with a very challenging socio-political and security situation. This makes it even more compelling. The African-led Great Green Wall is the embodiment of the action we need in restoring savanna, grasslands, farmlands across the Sahel. The Great Green Wall is slowing climate change, helping communities adapt, restoring biodiversity, bringing peace, bringing jobs, sustainability, and most of all, hope to everyone who lives there. Challenges remain, though. There is a lot of work to do before this mosaic of landscapes and ecosystems stretches across the whole of the Sahel. In today's program, we would like to explore and experiment with two qualities of a powerful attitude that makes things change and move. One is determination, and the other one is newness. There is a saying, if you don't have obstacles, you are not going anywhere. Obstacles take many forms, and very often, at the end, they become inner obstacles that slow me down or even stop me. And these are things like doubt, fear, resistance, lethargy, disheartenment, dislike. When I remember that obstacles are indicators of forward movement, I can encourage myself to keep going. When I stand up straight in my mind and gather my energy of determination, I can move past any obstacle. And also, when I have a clear aim, the second thing, when I have a clear aim, I am inspired to achieve it. And the more I love my aim, the greater is my determination to continue in the face of challenges and storms. When I keep my aim in front of me, I keep going. My aim makes me strong and determined. And the Great Green Wonder is simply a wonderful aim, worth my love and my determination. And then newness. A season change brings newness. When a dry or wet season starts on the savanna, there is a change in the routine coming from a new perspective, and that brings a feeling of newness. Newness makes me feel fresh and ready to start again, and even old activities take on a fresh feeling. I can change perspective regularly. I don't need to wait for the change of the season. I can change my perspective through meditation. I can bring newness to my thoughts, beliefs, words, actions. Please do experiment and do try it.
Peace drops. Determination, perseverance, resilience, and faith. Determination is the will to achieve a goal despite obstacles. Perseverance consists of persisting in one's efforts despite the difficulties encountered. Resilience is the ability to bounce back after challenges. Faith helps us to remain stable, allowing us to adapt and overcome mentally and emotionally the challenges of life. In this uncertain world, it is the quality of our present that makes our future. Staying determined requires a clear vision of our goals and confidence in what we can achieve despite immediate challenges. Peace Drops is an exemplary program of vision and commitment. Alone we go fast, together we go further. This African proverb sums up the challenge and what it means to be together. Resilience in the face of difficulties and perseverance in learning helps strengthen our determination. What must be, will be. Through meditation, we develop effective defense mechanisms whose purpose is to maintain a positive state of mind and to find constructive ways to cope with stress. Africa is a land of challenges where the importance is to know how to live together in the present. In our transformation, we learn to rise above useless actions and thoughts with patience, perseverance, courage, fairness, prudence, and wisdom. Everyone has their place and their role, assuming our responsibilities by giving the best of ourselves, understanding that our worst enemy is ourselves, our ego. Who I am is a central question. Whatever the situations, we must place ourselves in a posture of alignment of thoughts, words, and actions, authentic and sincere. We learn to measure what is changing in us and what we still have to transform. By measuring what makes us emotional, we must seek more appropriate behavior with humility, kindness, and compassion. Being a spiritual being leads us to seek to achieve a state of union with the divine. Through introspection, we are able to make a distinction between soul consciousness and body consciousness. Being an angel leads to being considered a point of light, a role model, an exceptionally kind, helpful, and inspiring soul. The master is the one who has reached a high level of skill, knowledge, and wisdom. He guides others on the path to personal knowledge, spiritual understanding, and well-being. This is where our greatness and our contribution to the world lies, in the hope of a better world. We express a need for enlightenment and transformation. Whatever the situations, tests, and events, we can adopt a spiritual posture verify the reality of our angelic attitude, and as a role model, bring peace through knowledge and being aware that we are only instruments. The important thing is to know how to share without trying to convince, while being the embodiment of wisdom, respect, and humility, with determination, perseverance, and resilience. Peace Drops is a demonstration of the best that humanity can bring in what each of us and all of us can bring to what it means to live together.
Together, we will experience of becoming peace, of being completely merged with peace in the heart of the ocean of peace. Make yourself comfortable. Let go of all tension. Your legs are relaxed. Your arms are completely relaxed. Your hands are free and without any pressure. Your breath softens. You breathe deeply, slowly, very slowly. Your inhalation is deep. You take your time. Your exhale is also deep. You allow a calm, serene rhythm to invade your heart. Your worries may appear, reminding you that they are there. You reassure them. You make them feel safe, and you give them an appointment after this moment you're going to spend with yourself in this experience. You put them in parentheses, telling them that you'll deal with them later and that you'll take this time for yourself. And you then take this time for yourself. Thoughts may appear on the screen of your mind, coming from your memories, from your history. They try to bring you back to them. They try to provoke an influence in you and to make you think about this influence. You know that they're coming, but you've decided to let them pass. So they pass like a shooting star in the sky. You don't hold on these thoughts. You don't start thinking about them. You let them go. You don't give them a purpose, but you are in your purpose of being peace. Everything in you is a frequency, a vibration of peace. Your body is filled with this vibration of peace. Your mind, your spirit is also in this vibration of peace. Both mind and body are looking in the same direction. You are completely in the ocean of peace. Nothing can pull you away. Your heart feels peace, lives peace. Your heart is completely in this deep, deep feeling. It breathes peace. It sends out this vibration of peace to the world, to nature, to all living beings. Your heart reminds the world of peace, the eternal original form of energy, of the energy of the incorporeal soul, beyond sound, beyond time, beyond movement. Everything in you radiates peace. You give to the world this experience of peace.
A warm welcome to Naomi Wasambili. Naomi, you have been in the United Kingdom. You were born there, and this is quite a bold move on your part, moving to Tanzania and leaving behind a life of entrepreneurship and a PhD student to become a farmer. What prompted you to take this new route in your life?
As Grace mentioned, I've grown up in the UK. I'm Tanzanian and I'm Jamaican by heritage. And actually, if I go back, cultivators and farmers are in both of my lines of heritage. And my mum's best friend had an allotment, and so I spent a lot of my childhood on an allotment growing up. And even as far as when I was living in London, I was always growing peppers, chilies, always be growing food. On my balcony, and never used any chemicals, but I guess didn't explore the science around it, but never added anything to the things that I was growing. But in coming to Tanzania and being in Tanzania, one of the drivers and motivations personally I had was around how I could develop permaculture and organic farming systems.
Naomi, can you take us through that journey of your first arrival in Tanzania and how you started your farming business?
So I just want to take you to Tanzania and take you to some of the projects that we work on. So the work I do within Tanzania is under Livy Africa. And Livy Africa is a research, manufacturing, social business where we're working on value chains around agriculture, all the way from seed, all the way to products and added value as well, with a particular focus on cocoa. But we're also working across all the different value chains as well. After my two grandmothers, Lillian and Ivy, who both had very different experiences, but definitely the love of nature. And, you know, for us, it's really important that it's not just about like the business model around attached to growing food. And actually, you know, my principle is feed yourself first. And I'll talk about how we fed ourselves first. But that deep respect that we have for the planet, for the way that we're cultivating the work, the crops that we are, the food that we're doing, and love and transparency that we try and work towards in everything, because the energy that you put into the food and into growing, I believe, also goes and seeps into your body as well. So we're very much driven by matriarchal and our grandmother's principles and the lessons and the knowledge that we've learned from them as well.
So tell us, what are some of the challenges that you encounter in trying to build this new way of lifestyle, probably for the people of Tanzania?
And so the challenge, like in many different places as well, you know, there's pervasive problems in Tanzania around youth unemployment. Agriculture is not really sexy. You know, people are growing things, but not necessarily thinking about how they can commercialize, but also for themselves. And so, you know, you have to approach some of the challenges that in a sustainable and a systemic way as well. And you can see some of the pictures from on the right hand side of the work that we've done. And, you know, we've gone from, and that was one of our sites at the bottom there. You can see two of my cousins actually digging up the soil, gone from completely barren sites where the soil has been depleted, often from burning things or adding pesticides, to creating again plants can flourish. So I'll talk you to three of our sites. We've got 3 farming sites here in Tanzania. The first one I'll talk you through is the first one we arrived at a year and a half ago, and you can see from the bottom picture, if you can see the grass that's overgrown, that's what the whole place looked like. It's just under an acre, and it's in Mbeya town. Now, there's a running source of water there, but there was no food grown. And so what we did straight away is we cleared the site and we stripped the site. And then I started going to the market and seeing the and started collecting banana skins actually from the market. Started collecting banana skins and started to make some simple banana fertilizer by adding water and a little bit of sugarcane, putting it in the water for about a month, and then adding it to the soil. Also adding rotting banana as well to a lot of the soil to start to feed the soil. Bananas got a lot of phosphorus and potassium in. So looking at the NPK, the nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium, we knew the soil was not very good. So we started making the banana fertilizers. Now, regions of Tanzania where they grow the most bananas. However, everybody called me mad for creating a fertilizer with bananas. But one of the things I kept saying to people was, you shouldn't have to pay for fertilizers. There's a lot of waste here that can actually be put back into the soil. So we started to replenish the soil with that. We also started to collect donkey poo, and started to collect cow poo from just the streets and some of the local farmers, and adding that to the soil as well. Box systems as well. There was no trees here, you can see. So we planted some trees. We planted some moringa trees, which are highly nutritional. We planted papaya trees. We planted avocado as well. So we started to create tree systems that could grow over the years alongside some of the annuals, and we separated the land into different sort of like chunks around where we could grow different foods in different ways. So we make all our own fertilizers. So now we make watermelon fertilizer, which is high in nitrogen, again adding water. We make pineapple fertilizer. We make pineapple fertilizers by adding pineapple skins to water. We also get what is the baobab. So buyu grows here in the baobab. We take the powder from a baobab and we add that to the soil as well. And some of the things that we do are slightly by mistake. So all of a sudden we had about 500 tomato seedlings that were growing. So we rapidly, what you can see at the bottom, and I'll share a video with you to watch another time, we built a greenhouse that cost approximately in pounds, about £50. We bought, local wood and plastic, and we created a simple assembled greenhouse, and we planted our tomatoes in there. Now everybody said, Naomi, if you're growing tomatoes, you need fertilizers, pesticides, and we said no eggshells to our soil, and we added rotting fish to the soil. And we had a couple of months later an abundance of different types of tomatoes that grew from there. We also co-planted with garlic as well. So we planted garlic cloves underneath the roots of our tomatoes, again to stop some of the bugs to come in, and that worked fantastically, as well as doing a spray, which was a pesticide spray, which was baking powder, a little bit of sunflower oil on the leaves as well. So we had to do a lot of things via trial and error, but we started to realize actually, you can grow, utilizing organic principles, but also permaculture is not a design that comes overnight. You have to invest in it over a period of time. And we know there's going to be food challenges in the next few years. And this is the right time now to start to plant those trees, to start to think about the practices and principles of farming that we are utilizing as well. And we're growing. We also have livestock, so you can see the chickens there that we have, and they also provide us with our fertilizers as well. So the chicken poo, we dry that out. We don't put it on straight away because it's very strong, so we dry it out and then we embed that and introduce that into our soil systems as well. So at our particular site now, we have a range of herbs, rosemary, thyme, sage, fennel, local herbs that are growing. We've got turmeric, we've got ginger, grow beans, we grow cabbages, we grow sweet potatoes, normal potatoes, and within a year we are able to sustain a lot of the food that we eat within the house from what we've grown there on the land as well.
How do you see this impacting the local population? How are they taking it all in the stride?
And so I always say in Tanzania, seeing is believing. So now we've been inviting a lot of the local farmers and smallholder farmers to see what could be done. They saw what it was like beforehand, and it's become a like training space as well, especially in relation to organic fertilizers. We also have a lot arrays. This is because not all areas are benefit from water, and water is going to be a big challenge in the years to come, specifically for growing. So we have a 25-acre site that's based in the sort of northern area of Mbeya, which is in the middle of the East Rift Valley. Now that site, 6 months of the year is arid and dry, has no water, and 6 months has water. And so what we're working on is water harvesting systems and water filtration systems by being able to do rainwater harvesting, but also we're undertaking a big agroforestry project where we're planting at least 5,000 new trees in the area to prevent water runoff. And so the rain, when it does fall in the rainy season, can be held within the mountains a little bit more. On this site, as you can see, we've been growing sunflowers, which is an interesting issue at the moment because there's a global shortage of sunflower oil because of the mass-produced oil from Ukraine and Russia. Whereas so there's something that's really important around the fact that we really need to look specifically in sub-Saharan Africa at how we add value to the products that we're growing as well. And this is all organically grown sunflowers as well. Add value, and then we can integrate them within the supply chains. And so once we've fed ourselves first, we can then start to look at the surpluses of food and of products that can be processed and manufactured to be able to provide and start to feed the world as it is, because there is going to be a massive demand now for organic and a range of food produce, which Africa and sub-Saharan Africa can supply, and ensuring that they supply themselves with food can move forward to supply. And again, the fertilizers we use on our sunflowers is purely cow dung, cow manufacture. So yeah, we've also now integrated chia seeds growing there. We're growing castor for castor oil.
And here are some of the added values that Livy Africa has made to the world of cacao.
A world without chocolate. It's not a world many could imagine. But take some time to imagine this. Many of the people who grow the cacao we eat have never tried chocolate, or even drunk the creamy hot chocolate many of us know and love. Having grown up in the UK, I know the power of chocolate and the love so many of us have for all the different forms cacao can come in. My father, a Tanzanian citizen, had always instilled the importance of us giving back to Tanzania. My mother, who has invested in Tanzania for many years, worked in logistics for the UK's largest postal service, gaining her Class 1 in lorry driving and understanding the complicated process around the transportation of goods. And my sister, a head pastry chef and chocolatier in London, who has trained with some of the best chocolatiers in the world, travelling and training in Lyon, France, Japan and London. So we all started to invest our time, money and skills in the process, and we started thinking, why, when cocoa is being grown in the village, is there no value addition happening there? Why could we not find powder, butter or nibs being produced from this amazing organic superfood?
Today, I give myself permission to take a few moments to step away from my senses, from the things that I've been listening around me in the news, the things I've been seeing, away from the situations around my life, around the world, like the different wars, the natural calamities, like climate change, hurricanes, dryness. I step away from the situations that I perceive, even within my own mind, emotions, ideas. And I take the time to find within myself an inner space, a sacred space that allows me to renew myself. It's a space where I can renew my thoughts, when I can renew my awareness, that I can regenerate a vision of myself in which I am more capable of finding faith and hope. A sacred space in which I can renew a vision of the world. A vision of the world in which I see the natural world, the biodiversity, the regeneration of nature, the regeneration of the harmony between humans, plants and animals, and the different kingdoms. And it's through the exploration of this inner space where I can find the energy that renews my thoughts and renews this vision of the world that starts within a new way of seeing myself. It's a spiritual energy that fills my whole being with hope and harmony. And this energy is being spread and shared throughout all my connections and the work that I do. From my consciousness to my actions, this regenerative energy renews my entire being. And this energy, I can see it expanding and moving along, reaching out even further. It's an energy that renews all living systems on the planet. I can see the rain can see all the beauty of the elements working in harmony with each other. So whenever I need to renew my hope in the world, whenever I need to renew my sense of belonging to a better place, I can begin by remembering the sacred space that lies within me, an oasis of peace that is capable of renewing every cell, every thought, every organ in myself. That inner space where I can find my divine nature. And again, whenever I need, I dive deep into this sacred space within myself to renew myself, a way to renew the world, a way to find the peace that lies within myself.
Dear friends of the Great Green Wall, I hope you took benefit from the time you spent with us, and my hope is that you were inspired to become more determined and to bring some newness in your life. The Great Green Wall is the kind of wonder our world needs now more than ever. A wall wonder of nature, not concrete. A wall wonder of hope, not hate. A wall wonder of unity, not division. A wall wonder we can all get behind together. Thank you for being with us, and I wish you all the best for your activities, whatever projects you have, whatever aims you have in front of you. All the best. And I see you next time. Thank you very much, and greetings of peace.